Have you ever read a professional email or maybe an official document and thought, wow, this sounds so effortlessly authoritative? Like, why does their writing command so much respect while our everyday emails can sometimes feel, I don't know, a little casual or clunky? Well, the secret often comes down to one very specific grammatical upgrade. Welcome to today's explainer. We are going to master that exact upgrade, the passive infinitive. By the time we wrap up, you'll have this incredibly powerful tool to make your communication sound way more professional, objective, and precise. Okay, let's dive right in.
So here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll talk about mastering formal English. Then we'll compare active versus passive structures. After that, we'll get into the strategy. Why use passive infinitives? Then I'll give you 3 steps to transform your sentences, and we'll wrap up by fixing common grammar mistakes.
All right, part 1, mastering formal English and elevating that communication style.
What's really fascinating here is just how many professional environments rely heavily on this exact structure. We're talking about formal English across the board, high-stakes business communication, rigorous academic writing, official requests, and of course, those crucial professional emails where tone is literally everything. When you combine verbs that express a desire, words like wanting, wishing, or liking, with a passive infinitive, it becomes your secret weapon. It instantly signals to your reader that you're delivering high-level, authoritative communication.
Let's move on to part 2, active versus passive structures. This is our classic before and after transformation. Let's look at the raw formulas behind this. First up is the basic active pattern. You've got your subject, a verb expressing some kind of desire, the object that's actually doing the action, and then a to infinitive. Now, that's perfectly fine for everyday chat, but our new target, the passive pattern, completely drops that original doer. We keep the subject in the verb, sure, but then we pull the receiver of the action right up to the front. We follow that with to be and a past participle. This right here, this is the absolute foundation for our transformation.
Let's see that formula in action, shall we? Take our before active sentence. She wants them to repair the car. The focus is heavily on the doers, them. But let's be real, do we actually care about them? Not usually. Now consider the after passive sentence. She wants the car to be repaired. It elegantly shifts the spotlight directly to the car and the final result. It strips away the unnecessary fluff and instantly sounds so much more refined.
Here's another real-world comparison. In the active version, I would like them to send the letter, you get bogged down in the mechanics of who is actually sending it. But apply the passive upgrade. I would like the letter to be sent. Do you hear that immediate professional shift? It sounds like a definitive instruction, not just asking a casual favor. It's clean, it's direct, and it leaves zero room for confusion about what the actual priority is.
So the crucial point is really mastering the engine of this transformation. Every active infinitive easily converts to this new format. To clean simply becomes to be cleaned. To repair becomes to be repaired. To complete shifts to be completed. You see the pattern, right? You just take the word to, add the word be, and attach the past participle of your action verb. Honestly, it's that easy. This is the core mechanism powering the entire upgrade.
But hold on a second. I want you to pause and really think about this. If the active sentence is grammatically correct and gets the point across just fine, why bother changing it? Why go through the trouble of purposefully hiding the doer of the action? What's the actual strategic advantage here?
And that perfectly tees up section 3. Why use passive infinitives? Let's talk about the strategy behind the structure.
We don't just use this structure randomly. It is all about intentional focus. We deploy the passive infinitive specifically when the action itself is vastly more important than whoever is doing it. We also use it when the performer of the action is completely unknown to us. Or, on the flip side, when the performer is so incredibly obvious that mentioning them is just a waste of words. Basically, it's an amazing tool for cutting out conversational clutter. Take this example, which really builds our case. We want the workers to paint the house. Well, obviously the workers are going to paint it, right? We're not expecting the house to paint itself. By dropping the obvious workers, we get the much tighter, we want the house to be painted. It becomes wonderfully objective. And that exact kind of conciseness is exactly what's respected and, frankly, expected in high-level professional contexts.
All right, section 4, 3 steps to transform. This is your step-by-step grammatical playbook.
So here is your clear 3-step rulebook that takes all the guesswork out of this grammatical math. Step 1, identify the object of the infinitive. That's the thing receiving the action. Step 2, lift that object and move it so it sits immediately after your main expressing verb, like want or wish. And step 3, change your standard infinitive into the passive infinitive format we learned earlier.
3 simple steps, and you've got total clarity.
Let's actually apply those 3 steps to a real example. Say you start with, they wish us to complete the project. Okay, step 1, find the object. It's the project. Step 2, move it right up after the main verb. They wish the project. And now, step 3, change the infinitive to be completed. When we snap all of that together, the result is perfectly polished. They wish the project to be completed. Boom, a flawless sentence constructed in seconds.
Wrapping up with Section 5, fixing common grammar mistakes, or how to avoid the traps.
Can you spot what's missing in these really common errors? Take a look at "she wants the room cleaned." You know, that's incredibly common in spoken English, but in formal writing, it's missing the crucial infinitive. It absolutely must be "she wants the room to be cleaned." In the second example, "I would like the work be finished," the word "to" just got completely dropped. It is so vital to use the full structure. "I would like the work to be finished."
Here are 2 more traps people fall for all the time. They wish the project completed. Again, it kind of feels like a short count, but in academic or official writing, it completely falls flat. You absolutely need that complete to be plus past participle structure, making it, they wish the project to be completed. And in the very last example, she wants the car to repaired, the writer just forgot the word be. So always double check your work to make sure you haven't dropped any elements of that to be repaired structure.
Let's showcase what this looks like completely out in the wild. The manager wants the proposal to be reviewed before the meeting. This is a top-tier business English example. Notice how much more authoritative it sounds than saying, the manager wants the team to review the proposal. It takes the pressure off the specific team members and places all the importance right where it belongs, on the proposal itself and that impending deadline. It's just so polished.
And here's a prime application for academic English. The professor would like the assignment to be completed by Monday. In academic settings, objectivity is absolutely paramount. This structure successfully removes any unnecessary personal pronouns. Notice it doesn't say would like you to complete, it focuses entirely on the assignment. This perfectly maintains that strict, formal, objective tone required in higher education and scholarly communication.
We've unpacked the mechanics, the strategy, and the common traps of the passive infinitive upgrade. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Look at your outbox. Look at the requests you make of your colleagues or your clients. What specific action will you shift the focus to in your very next professional email? Because by applying this simple grammatical transformation, you can instantly elevate your writing, command more respect, and communicate with absolute clarity.